The Thomas Way. One day when I wanted to show Harold the sights of Sodor, Duck wouldn't allow it. He was sure there was only one way of doing things until I showed him the Thomas Way. Duck is a little green tank engine whose real name is Montague. His friends call him Duck because they say that he waddles. Duck came to Sodor from the mainland where he worked on the Great Western Railway. He always does things the Great Western way. One morning, Duck was taking Harold to the Sodor Search and Rescue Center for repair. Harold was tall and his floats were wide, so Thomas was Duck's back engine. His job was to check that Harold wouldn't bash into anything. Thomas was looking forward to showing Harold some special sights on the way. Up ahead was a narrow bridge. Thomas checked that Harold wasn't too big to cross it. "All clear," he called to Duck. "Shall we show Harold the animal park?" "There are two ways of doing things, Thomas," Duck replied. "The Great Western way and the wrong way. We must go straight to the Search and Rescue Center." They soon reached the junction to Knapford. Thomas wanted Harold to see the station, but he knew that Duck would say no, so Thomas decided to play a trick. "Duck," he called, "we need to collect Harold's engineer from Knapford Station." This time Duck agreed. But when they got there, Harold was too tall to fit in the station. "Stop!" Thomas called to Duck. Duck stopped just in time, but the Fat Controller was cross. "Harold's engineer isn't here," he boomed. "He's waiting at the Search and Rescue Center." Duck was cross that Thomas had tricked him. "From now on, we will do things the Great Western way," he puffed. They steamed on towards a tunnel. "Stop!" Thomas called. "Harold is too wide." But Duck didn't stop. He wasn't going to fall for Thomas's tricks again. Sparks flew as Harold's blades scraped against the sides of the tunnel. Screech! Duck tried to puff on, but he couldn't. Harold was stuck. Duck's driver had to call for help. Soon, a team of engineers arrived. Then the Fat Controller appeared. The Steamy's wheels wobbled with worry. "You two have caused confusion and delay," the Fat Controller said to Thomas and Duck. "Now Harold will need even more repairs." When the engineers had freed Harold, Duck and Thomas set off again. Duck was sorry for not listening to Thomas, and Thomas was sorry for tricking his friend. "But Thomas," Duck worried, "how can we get Harold home without going through any tunnels?" Thomas smiled. "We'll go the Thomas way," he said. This time Thomas went in front, while Duck checked for places that Harold might get stuck. Thomas chose a special route to the Search and Rescue Center. It wasn't the quickest way, but there were no more accidents. Then Thomas and Duck chuffed home. "I think they might be three ways of doing things," Duck smiled. "The Great Western way, the wrong way, and the Thomas way." Duck beamed from buffer to bumper. "But the Great Western way is usually the best," Duck laughed.